Here we are. After this huge wait, Rise of the Beast has finally come. And I have to say right away, I loved it as a Beast Wars fan. Of course, LBC didn't.
Oh, I liked it. What are you talking about?
Yeah. This movie was really good. I really enjoyed it.
It was way better than Bumblebee.
Yeah, I'm sorry guys, but I find Bumblebee a little bit overrated. Because there are a lot of issues. I reviewed Bumblebee a while back.
That was 2018, wasn't it?
Yeah, back in 2018. That review is dated. I'm going to have to make an updated review. And basically, since I've grown over the years, give explanations why I think it's overrated. Like, it wasn't a bad movie, but it definitely got too much hype. But this is definitely an improvement. This is what the reboot needed, because, like, it took some elements from the Michael Bay films that worked and implemented it into this reboot, quote unquote, whatever Lorenzo has decided to be, even though reboot makes more sense than a prequel. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I was hyped in the beginning. So why don't we get into the plot? So the plot opens up with a dialogue with Optimus Primal, and he's talking about how back a long time ago there was this monstrosity who eats planets, is what I meant to say. And they didn't believe it until Unicron came there. And the Maximals are facing off the Scorponok, which appear to be Unicron's minions in this movie. Which I guess is fine, better than the actual Predacon Scorponok, I guess. But anyway, Ape Link is running from the Scorponoks, and he gets shot in the shoulder, and he's almost left for dead before Optimus Primal rescues him and rips off the Scorpion's head. The other Maximals catch up, and Ape Link wants to have the other Maximals escape with the transwarp key so then Unicron doesn't get it and terrorize the galaxy. Optimus Primal offers to stay with him to face off Scourge, but Ape Link says it's time for you to lead the Maximals, Optimus Primal. Ape Link stands there to face off Scourge as the other Maximals escape. And then Scourge comes in a very spooky tone that actually was pretty chilling.
I actually had chills from that.
Yeah, that was just... that definitely gave you chills. Ape Link and Optimus Primal... Scourge... Ape Link and Scourge face it off until Scourge kills Ape Link off very quickly by stabbing him in the chest and then blowing a big hole into the side of his arm. And
it was like the shoulder right here.
Yeah, and then ripping off his Maximal insignia. I like all of I even like how they reference the Predacons in one of the symbols. Just makes you think, which Predacon did he kill?
It could be any of them.
Yep. And the Maximals are taking off, and then we transition to Scourge and Unicron, and Unicron is like, find the key no matter what. Now we transition to 1994, if I'm remembering right.
1994.
And we get to meet the human protagonist, Noah. And Noah is trying to find a job so he can support his brother that is having some medical issues. But, of course, the job he originally said would hire him rejected him. And he has to go to the lowest form of finding money. Breaking into cars. And meanwhile, we get to meet the other human protagonist in this film, Elena, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's this coffee person.
She's an assistant.
Yeah, she basically fetches coffee. I made the joke in the theater, hey, where's my darn coffee? Oh, wait, I don't drink coffee. I know, it's a stupid joke. But anyway, let's get on to what's important. So she's talking with the museum who has discovered all these artifacts. And and Elena notices that there is a bird artifact with a weird symbol on it, which us Transformers fans know that's the Maximals.
Yep.
And as we go back further into the film, Noah is stealing the car, which at the same time, after Elena discovers the key inside of the bird artifact, which she is scared because the thing crumbled, and she's like, I'm so fired, I'm so fired, I'm so fired. Optimus Prime calls the Autobots, including Mirage, and Mirage does this cool chase scene, and of course, we get to see the holograms. The funny thing is, I didn't expect them to make holograms of Noah as well. I figured it was just going to be the car, to be honest with you. And then Mirage, after escaping the police officers, meets up in the base, which is like an abandoned shop or something like that. I don't know what it is.
It looks like an abandoned warehouse.
Yeah, something like that. And the other Autobots come in after Mirage and Noah meet, and Optimus is not too thrilled about it. So ahead of time, we did find out that Optimus is going to build up his relationship with the humans, which is a really good concept, because
We never got that with the Bayformers.
we never got that with really any continuity, because like it's always been the same formula, like Autobots come to Earth, we're here to protect you for some reason, even though we have no bond or something like that. Yeah. And this is actually something interesting. Like, we should get more stuff like this. Granted, you could say with other continuities, maybe they did something similar, but in, like, different worlds or something like that. But it's finally nice to see the build-up to Optimus Prime wanting to protect the humans. It's a bit of fresh air, and I'm surprised they didn't do it before. Anyway, continuing on. Prime isn't too thrilled about Noah. Noah tries escaping as Optimus is talking about the Transwarp Key, which is their way to Cybertron. And, of course, that plan doesn't go well. Mirage suggests having Noah break into the museum, which Prime is like, this is a bad idea.
Honestly, I don't blame Prime one bit.
I even like the dialogue where RC's like, Mirage is not known for making good plans. Something like that. That was pretty funny. So Noah tries breaking in the museum. He meets Elena, which doesn't go well.
For a while.
And then the security guard comes in, and at the same time, the Terracons have arrived on Earth. Now, I actually like the Terracons. The funny thing is, I actually ordered the Battletrap and Freezer Studio Series figures, and I'm glad I did, because they were cool. Well, more Battletrap than Freezer. Freezer was just a foot soldier.
I really wouldn't mind getting the Scourge
Yeah.
Studio Series.
And Scourge was pretty cool. Of course, not the Scourge that I know, but he's based off of many versions of Scourge, which consist of the G1 and the 2003 Robots in Disguise cartoon, where he was the original Nemesis Prime. I like how they kind of implemented them together. And a little bit to throw tribute to Tarn was with the faction mask. That was pretty cool. The Terracons blast the window to the museum, and the Autobots show up to face off the Terracons, and we get a whole battle sequence. Bumblebee tries stopping Scourge from killing Optimus Prime, but Bumblebee is stabbed in the chest by Scourge, which we know he is going to come back from this at some point. But I'm surprised this had a big emotional impact. If it was younger me, I'd be bawling, because apparently I was scared of Bumblebee dying in Revenge of the Fallen, even though I should have known better and like, they're never gonna kill off Bumblebee.
For me, I don't think I've been this emotional through a Transformers movie.
Yeah, same. Yeah, the Transformers movies haven't been that emotional. No character, well, maybe except Ironhide, made me cry when they died.
That was the only one that made me cry.
Yeah, the others, okay, maybe a little bit of Ratchet too, maybe a little bit. But besides that, no one really. As we continue on, the Autobots are preparing to go to Peru because we find out after Airazor meets up with the Maximals that they split the key in half, and Unicron is pissed because Scourge gave him the key, but Scourge didn't know that it was only one half of the key. And Scourge and the Terracons are on their way to get the key, and the Autobots are heading to Peru in Stratosphere. Of course, he didn't do much in this movie, but I kind of enjoyed Stratosphere in the movie. My favorite part of the scene that he first appeared in is like, yeah, I'm walking to Peru. That was pretty funny. I remember seeing that promo on YouTube, and I thought it was pretty funny. And they go on the plane, they land in Peru, and they think they have the key location down, but when they go to the area going through a huge parade, we find out that they were wrong. And of course, the Terracons are also ahead of Peru, as Elena and Noah are trying to get the key. They find out the key piece is not there, and they're chased by Freezer. And then as they keep running, they head to the jungle where we meet the Maximals themselves. As a Beast Wars fan, I love this. We got to see Optimus Primal. We actually got to see a cool perspective shot of all the Maximals.
Yeah.
Like, we got one for Primal, we got one for Rhinox, we got one for Cheetor. It was so cool. And we get the whole standoff, which was a sneak peek that was revealed after the second trailer came out. And it was so cool. Optimus Prime, here's the name Optimus Primal. He's like, Optimus Primal? And we find out that Optimus Primal named himself after the great warrior from their future, which it's good to see they kept the time travel aspect to it. Because I wouldn't have liked it if the Maximals were their Transformers at the same time as the Autobots. I would have hated that. At least they gave me that, because I seriously do not like the Maximal Planet. Granted, I've never read any of the comics with them, but for me, I just like the Maximals and Predacons being the descendants of the Autobots and the Decepticons. That's how I like it. Granted, I'm a little biased since I, even though I'm a 2000s kid, I did grow up with Beast Wars a little bit. And the Maximals are wondering why you want the Transwarp key. They go through Peru a little bit. We find out that the Maximals hid that second half of the key with this tribe, well, the descendants of a tribe from long ago. And then we, at some point, Scourge and Optimus fight it out, and Scourge, kind of mind controls Airazor, which, to be honest, a lot of people thought it was going to be Nightbird controlling Airazor. To be honest, when Scourge first shot Airazor, I thought it was a rust gun, like it was going to disintegrate her. There's no way they're going to kill her off this early. There's no way. I don't think they're going to kill her off. We'll get into that. And Airazor is just spazzing out. She's going insane as Scourge is taking over. Airazor gives Scourge the second half to the key, and Optimus Primal had to do, to be honest with you, I kind of cried at this moment. Optimus Primal made the hard choice and kills Airazor. I almost bawled at that scene, being a Beast Wars fan and also thinking in the perspective of a leader having no choice to kill one of his allies that he's known for a long time. That must have been hard.
When I saw that, I wanted to cry so bad.
I did too. And then Optimus Prime, after they discuss about how the machine works, they're like, we're going to fight off, we're going to take the battle to Scourge, and the humans will deactivate the device and save the universe from Unicron. The final battle takes place, and the Autobots are fighting off the Terracons. Scourge is by the machine. Mirage distracts Scourge for a while. And, of course, the device is turned off. But before that, Scourge shoots Mirage in the back multiple times. To be honest, I'm surprised they even teased us with killing him, because he's like the main marketing of this movie. Like, Mirage was how is described as the main character of this movie for the Autobots, and it was a surprise they even teased about killing him. We also get to see Scourge's face without the mask, which I already saw what his face looks at with the mask because they did a promo before the movie came out of like the voice actors who they chose, and one of them was Scourge, and it showed his face without the mask, and wow, that was unexpected. Didn't expect that face from under the mask. And Unicron sends Scorponok. They fight some more. Optimus Prime and Noah, after Mirage's body turns into Noah's suit, and Optimus Prime face Scourge, and eventually Optimus Prime kills Scourge. Well, before that, Bumblebee kills Nightbird because the huge Energon surge revives Bumblebee, which was cool, but the only problem I have with this is how can it work where the Energon is so powerful enough to give Bumblebee his Camaro, the new one with the wheels and the rim. That's my only problem with it. That's the only confusing thing. Like, how would it be powerful? Wouldn't that just revive him and not give him the upgrades? Like, with Prime in Transformers Prime getting the big bulky upgrade with the jetpack, that made sense because of the Forge of Solus Prime. But it's kind of weird in this movie. Anyway, continuing on, after Scourge is killed, the device is destroyed, but Optimus Prime stands to make sure that Unicron doesn't make it through. He destroys the device, and Optimus almost gets sucked into Unicron, but Noah tries saving him, but then he slips, and then Primal saves him, and then they escape with their lives, and they're like, and RC's like, is Unicron really dead? And Primal's like, perhaps, but not dead. Evil's never dead. He might come back. And I like how Optimus Prime's like, let him come. And how they'll face them together. And then the movie kind of ends with an end credit scene with, I know LC is going to like this, but a while back we got confirmation one of the end credits was going to be a teaser for a Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover movie. Look, I know nothing about the material. I don't know how those comics are, in my opinion, but from what I've heard, they're pretty bad.
And when I heard about this, I'm like, no.
because Hasbro wanted to create a cinematic universe for their brands. Personally, the one thing Michael Bay got right is he stuck to Transformers and not like a G.I. Joe crossover and all that. Because it's kind of stupid. What's next? Transformers and My Little Pony? Oh no.
Oh dear.
I'm not seeing that movie. Just, granted, they could prove me wrong, but this movie does not sound like a good idea. Granted, I don't really know much about the brand of G.I. Joe. I never watched the original cartoon. I've not watched the live action movies. I don't know nothing about G.I. Joe. But from what I've heard with the crossovers in the past in the comics, it doesn't sound good because from what I've heard, the Transformers were mostly cannon fodder for the G.I. Joe characters. No one wants to see the Transformers blown up by Cobra Commander or something like that in live action. No one wants to see that. Like, this sounds like a bad idea for a movie. I'm kind of hoping that they scrap the concept and like, oh wait, nah, let's not do that. Let's do another Transformers Rise of the Beast movie. That sounds better. But yeah, I'm not thrilled for this crossover. I'd rather get another Maximals and Autobots building up the Beast and Autobot universe. Like, I want to see the next antagonist to be the Predacons. I want to see that. But I guess that's asking for too much, apparently. So yeah, if I had to rate this movie, it'd be a 10 out of 10 for me. I really enjoyed this movie. I definitely enjoyed it more than Bumblebee. I just find Bumblebee a little bit overrated. I'll do a video sometime. If you want to hear my thoughts, I will give you the best explanations possible. But this is definitely a great start for a reboot. Like, to move on forward. And I really can't wait to find out what's next. I can't wait for the animated Transformers prequel that's next. Yes, Chris Hemsworth is Optimus Prime, but I'm okay with that as long as he's Orion Pax and not Optimus Prime himself. Like, younger Prime is fine. Like, if they do that with the animated trilogy or something like that, because it's called Transformers 1. Going from Chris Hemsworth building it up and then going to Peter Cullen, that would be cool. But if it's just him as Optimus Prime, then I'm going to have some issues. But yeah, 10 out of 10. I really want to see this movie again, and I want a sequel to this movie immediately. We need the Predacons in the same kind of style the Maximals were in. And for goodness sake, put the original guy for Beast Wars Megatron as Megatron, because if it's somebody else, I will hate that Megatron, because no one could do Megatron's Megatron had a certain type of personality that can't be replicated. Like, please put me in the next Transformers movie, Hasbro. Yes. It's like that kind of personality. Like, no one else could do it. Well, unless you want to cut corners, then pick me. I'm pretty decent at Beast Wars Megatron. Like, just give us Beast Wars Megatron. Give him the same voice. I'll tolerate Ron... what's his name again? Ron something? The guy who plays Primal.
I can see his face.
Yeah, he's played Primal before, and honestly, he's better in Primal in this than the Prime Wars trilogy. Like, I really enjoyed him. It would have been nice to see the original guy who did Primal as Optimus Primal. Kind of like how Optimus is still the voice of Optimus Prime, but I guess Ron is okay, but seriously, bring David, whatever his name, as Megatron, or Beast Wars Megatron. But yeah, 10 out of 10. All to See, 0 out of 10.
Really?
What do you have to rate it?
Well, I will give it a 10 out of 10. This is probably the best movie of this year.
Yes, this is definitely one of the best movies this year.
And so far, I have only seen 2 good movies. This and Fast X.
What about Super Mario?
Okay, and that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I've seen a couple good movies this year so far. Like, I saw Fast 10 with this hippie over here and Full Metal Dipper.
Excuse me?
I also saw the Mario movie before that.
It's L to the C.
L to the C. And I saw Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which I have a review out for that. It was definitely good, had some issues. And then this movie, oh yeah, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So yeah, so far my year of movies has been really good. Granted, I've been skipping all the bad ones, so that's probably why it's good so far. But yeah, I really had a blast at this movie. I really recommend it. And personally, I wouldn't mind seeing this a second time. I don't think I'm going to do it, but I wouldn't mind it. But anyway, this is D to the B signing off. Bye, guys.